Hello, hello. Happy Thursday and happy Facebook Live time. I might be going on just a tiny bit early, wanted to give people a chance to find me. I have a lot to cover tonight, lots on my mind that I want to share with all of you, my crafting community. I have a big stack of cards that are sneak peeks of classes I have coming up that I'm going to show at the end. And I want to just talk a little bit about my visit with my mom ever so briefly, and then several updates because there's a lot going on in the world of Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I see people joining in. Hi, Dean. Hi, Linda. Hi, MJ. Yay, so glad you're finding me. So I want to talk just a sec. You guys probably are aware I was off visiting my mom last, and she's a beautiful person. Not going to say too much. I'll get emotional. That happens, you know. She's in great health, mentally, physically, very much so. She's lonely, you know, that it's hard, but had a great visit with her. Probably the greatest success was that I got her out of the house every single day for just a little bit. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jolene. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to just want to see who's here with me. But we had a really nice time, and the weather was beautiful in Boston. It hadn't gotten quite hot there. So I was out every day and enjoying the weather. It's gotten really hot here in Charlotte, in the 90s and almost close to 100 on a couple of days. Recently, crazy, crazy weather. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you here. Anyway, had a wonderful time with my mom. I'm not very productive work-wise when I'm there, but you know, you have to enjoy life and do the things that are important, and being with my mom was definitely one of those. I got to see two of my brothers as well while I was there. So it was a wonderful little visit and trip. Anyway, I'm just feeling happy today, feeling, you know, light. And part of the reason for that is also that I got a couple of really sweet emails today from Nell Thames and Tracy Starkweather, you guys know out there. And they were just the sweetest little appreciative emails, and just, you know, made me remember it's the joy of crafting and the joy of connecting with other people, and how special that is and how special all of you guys are. So thank you so much for being here today and joining me for some paper crafting fun. So I have a couple of projects to share. They're both really simple. And they both use designer series paper. Now, I also saw a post today. Some of you who follow me, you might have seen it in the Makers MOJO Creative Escapes group. We're trying to post in that group a bit, trying to get some conversation going. And the post that went live today was by presenter Anne Marie Heil. And she asked the question, what do you buy maybe too much of in your crafting supplies? And several people, most people commented designer series paper, right? So I know I buy more than I can use. I mean, I want it all because it's so beautiful, and Stampin' Up does such a great job of designer series paper. I have a stack this high, okay, you can't even see, in the other room of retired paper that I haven't managed to use. Anyway, love paper. So we're going to use some designer series paper today. And one of the projects, you know, if you make a bunch of this particular item that I'm going to show you, you could use a lot of designer paper. So on a mission to use a lot of designer paper. So comment, what is the paper crafting supply that you tend to buy more of than you can use? And there can be more than one, but just, you know, comment and let me know. Just fun to sort of have the conversation going and hear from all of you guys. Okay, so let's launch right in. I do have some announcements, and of course I got my sneak peek. So we'll do the announcements, we'll go through the projects, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, so, and don't forget, if you're watching, whether you're watching here on Facebook or the replay or on YouTube later, please share it with friends, tag friends in this post, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my page. I would so appreciate it. Love the help spreading the word about what I share. All right. Oh, I see lots of paper out there. People love paper. Our designer paper is so wonderful. Love it. There's a rare paper that I don't like. Occasionally I don't like them, but most of the time I love the papers. All right. So And I should say that the project today, just a little teaser so you know what's coming up, uses the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. And I'm also going to be using the Slim Sayings bundle. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you here. This was my project, was my contribution to the June Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, which features those the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper and the new in colors. So too much glitter for you, Tracy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, glitter is fun. We don't think we sell any glitter anymore, but we have glittery things like, what is it called? Dang, I'm forgetting it. It's the paintbrush. You guys know what I'm talking about. Wink of Stella, there we go. How could I forget it? Oh, and ribbon, yes, lots of ribbon. I have lots of ribbon too. Okay, anyway, I digress. So yes, so that's our project for today. Tea Boutique and Slim Sayings. And yes, and just so you know, with Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, my team members get it from me free every single month. It includes 12 tutorials for relatively simple projects, and there's always a theme, like the theme for tonight. And then customers, when they place an order, also receive the tutorial bundle for free when you use the host code, or if your order is $150 or more. So I love to give that tutorial bundle because it's super useful and they're fairly easy projects, easy to replicate. So you'll see when I'm showing tonight, you're gonna be able to do it in all kinds of different designer papers, I promise you. All right, now I'm finally gonna get to announcements. I'm in a good mood, so I'm chatty. I guess that's how I am today. Anyway, okay, so last chance list. It's almost getting to the end of June, right? We got about one more week. The January to June mini catalog is retiring, and those products are going away. They're retiring, up to 50% discounts on those products, just so you remember. The July to December 2022 mini catalog is coming on July 1st, and I am doing my Tasty but Sweet product shares for that mini catalog. The deadline to sign up for that is June 29th, which is next Wednesday, 1 week away, almost, well, a little bit less than a week away. Now I extended the early bird deadline that went out in my newsletter today to be till tomorrow. So if you sign up for product shares, if you reserve product shares, you'll either get entered into a drawing if you just buy a few shares for a free celebration item, or if you order, I think it's 4 or more, you get to pick either 1 or 2 free celebration items, all dependent on how many shares you purchase. So you could be getting celebration items before celebration even starts, which is July 1. Hi, Pam. Hi, Roseanne. I'll catch up and say hello to people I've missed. Okay, so anyway, so yes, product shares. Tomorrow is the deadline. I have extended the early bird deadline to be eligible for those celebration perks. So if you're interested in product shares, which my product shares are the best, it's like a paper crafter's buffet. You get a little bit of a bunch of different products in a given suite. Anyway, so if you sign up by tomorrow and pay for your shares by the 25th, I will send invoices starting on the 24th. You will be eligible for the early bird special. So do it. They're great shares. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you here. Okay. I also have a class coming up. The deadline is approaching. It's the Sun Prints class. It's my favorite bundle or suite in the annual catalog. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper and stamp set. I've created 6 different projects, and that's one of the things I'm going to show you sneak peeks of today. I almost hate when I do classes because only the people that take those classes get to see these gorgeous projects. So I've just decided today I'm going to show you a whole bunch. I'm going to show you the projects for my upcoming technique class, which is creative play with adhesives. I'm going to show you the projects for the Sun Prints class. And I'm going to show you the projects for my tarnished foil technique class, which is coming up in August. So I'm going to show you lots of samples. So stick around. Okay, so the creative techniques with adhesives class, very different alternative kind of class, very fun, out of the box ideas, not something you're probably going to see very many other places. That live online classes on June 27th. The deadline is June 25th, so that's just this Saturday, the deadline. I actually cut one extra kit, so normally I don't have kits available at this late date, but I have a link in my newsletter. The first person who clicks that link and pays for the kit will get that kit, and then I'll turn off the code. So if you're at all interested in that class after you see the projects today, make sure to run over to my email and click that link. Hopefully not, more than one person will pay. I will reimburse you if I don't have the kit. I will refund you, yes. There are lots of die cuts in this kit. I had my friend Wanda come and help me do the die cutting. We spent 4 hours. She spent 4 hours doing die cutting for the class. So it's a lot of die cut pieces that you'll get in your kit. Saves you a lot of time. All right, what else? And of course I have the technique class coming up in August. The class is scheduled for Tuesday, August 30th. That is a corrected date. I actually put a date on my calendar that I mailed out to people. Where's that calendar? This calendar. If you got my catalog from me, you would have gotten this calendar, and I had the wrong date on it. I had the date of August 25th, and I'm gonna be at Backstage in New Orleans with my friend Mary Beth Ravenscroft and lots of other demonstrators too. If you are a demonstrator and you're going to Backstage, let me know. I'd love to meet you there. But anyway, so I sort of booked myself incorrectly. So yes, that class will be the 30th of August. And tarnished foil is one of my signature techniques. Probably known for that more than anything else. So sneak peeks coming. All right. Let's see what else. The other thing coming up is that my technique class subscription window and club opportunity opens up mid-July. So I only offer that option twice a year, at the beginning of the year and in the middle of the year. And basically you can sign up for a subscription where you're paying a class fee for the 3 classes that will be the second half of the year. So August, October, and December, technique classes specifically. Or you can join a club, get the classes for free, and you purchase product to get the classes for free for those same 3 months. So that'll open up mid-July. Just want to give you a heads up if it's something you're interested in, especially after you see the tarnished foil projects. That's coming. So let me know if you're interested. If you want a reminder, you can always email me or tag me here in Facebook, and I will make sure to let you know when that subscription window opens. Whew. I had a lot to share tonight, don't I? Or didn't I? One more update. So the Makers Mojo Creative Escape summer event is coming on July 29th and 30th. Let's see. Yeah, so it's coming up on the 29th and 30th. You can register now. It's an amazing event. It's an online event where it's 5 presenters, and we do 2 presentations each, but each presentation is chock full. So we'll show one primary project and then multiple variations with the goal of showing you different ways to use that layout or the technique. So it's a lot of content that you'll get. That is one thing. Oh, I was going to show that too, wasn't I? Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to show that tomorrow. Okay, so that brings me to the other subject, which is I'm not only going live today, right here, right now, but I'm going live again tomorrow. So today's live is here in Melissa's Crafting Treehouse Facebook page. Tomorrow's is in the Makers Mojo Creative Escapes Facebook page. So we have a page as a group, the 5 of us as presenters, really to talk about the event, to promote the event, share information about it. It's a public group, so anybody can be a part of it and join in. So I'm going to be going live in that group tomorrow, or that page tomorrow, with a project presentation, and I'm going to show some past projects that have been presented at different events, so projects that have never been seen before, except for Makers Mojo participants for those given events. And I'm also going to be making a project with what I like to call card salad. My little leftover bits and pieces from my creative process while I was creating for that project. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want you to put on your calendar, if you can. Join me tomorrow again for Facebook Live on the Makers Mojo Creative Escapes group. And that will be at 1 p.m. So I'm going live in the middle of the day. So anyway, put it on your calendar. Wow. Can't believe I'm still talking. How many minutes have passed? Very many. So anyway, I'm right there. I'm ready to go to the project demonstration, and just stick around to the end to see my lovely projects, sneak peeks for all the upcoming events that I have, where I've created projects so far. Okay, so I'm gonna face the camera down and we'll get started. You love card salad, Tracy? Yes, it's so fun. And then the interesting thing is that, you know, everybody designs differently, right? So when I've talked about card salad with some of my design team members for Makers Mojo, some of them have said, oh no, I don't create that way. When I create, I create lots of little pieces and parts, and then I pick and choose what I like the best to come up with my final design. But I've heard other people say, no, I'm one and done. I make one project and it's done. I don't ever have little bits and pieces, and if I do, I throw them away. I can't throw them away. So anyway, card salad is sort of one of my own unique things. I know other people have card salad as well, but everybody designs differently, right? All right, so I've got a little summary here of all the different events and what I just, you know, rattled off to all of you guys. So classes and events, you can see the date of the RSVP, for Creative Play with Adhesives class is on June 27th in the evening at 7 p.m. You can watch live on Zoom, watch live on Facebook, or watch the replay. RSVP deadline is the 25th, which is Saturday, this coming Saturday. Sunprints, RSVP by 6/27. That is not a live event. It is going to be a PDF and a video tutorial for those 6 projects. Makers Mojo Creative Escapes again. Escape event, the 29th and 30th. One quick word on that. I think I'll talk about that tomorrow. So it's going to span the 2 days, a little bit of the 29th, and pretty much most of the 30th. So just to give you an idea. Tracy, you say people throw away their scraps. You're surprised. I know. I was actually surprised to hear that when my fellow presenter said she throws away her stuff. It's probably a good thing, reduces the clutter, but I can't do it. All right, so for Makers Mojo, I'm just going to tell you, we're doing it a little bit different this time. You can RSVP until the date of the event and beyond, in fact. However, if you RSVP early by 7/14, you're going to have more prize opportunities. So we last time I think we had 17 prizes, and we do some play along posts in the group. This time, and they were open until right before the event started, and you could participate in all of them. We had some door prizes as well. This time, the prize opportunities are going to be open for like 3 days. So the first post is going to go live around the 15th, I think we said, and then it's going to shut down after like 3 days. So if you want access to all of the prizes, you're going to want to register for Makers Mojo Creative Escape early so that you get into the group right away and you can start commenting on those posts and get more entries for the prizes. So that's just a heads up, a little bit different from how we've done it in the past. And then, of course, just reminders about my product shares. You see the details there. So RSVP by tomorrow, pay by the 25th if you want the early bird opportunity for celebration items, and then the final deadline there. Okay, I'm going to put this aside. Alrighty, so the paper we're using, lovely, lovely paper, is the Tea Boutique paper. Now, I partake in my own product shares, so I got, I think, 1/2 of a pack of the Tea Boutique paper, and I'm using several of the patterns today. Anyway, this is going to give you some idea of all of them. I have a couple of duplicate pages because I've used a bunch of my paper. I've used a bunch of this. Isn't this fun? Happy paper. So yes, this is just side 1, right? So there's 24 pieces, 24 patterns actually, all together. So you can see tons of great patterns. You can see I've cut some circles in those. Let's turn these over so you can see them. I know, this big old crazy mess of paper. A lot of this is in the are the in colors. You can see a lot of those are in colors. So fun, right? I love it. I love this paper. So pretty. All the sort of neutral patterns on the back, and then the more showy, showy, flowery patterns, teacups, all that good stuff on the front. Okay. That's a little bit of the paper. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first project. This is actually my contribution to the tutorial bundle. If you participated in my annual catalog special offer, you got one of these as a little surprise in with your other many goodies. So we're going to make this cute little pouch. Now, I didn't do this one quite perfect. It's a little bit flawed on the back side, but I'm going to show you how to make this. Super cute, super quick. This is a 6x6 piece of paper that's used to make this, and I've used several of the in colors to do it. So we're going to start with a 6x6 piece, okay? Now, I created many of these, and going to have many of them in photographs on my blog post that will go live. I think I'm going to make it go live tomorrow this time. Usually it's Saturday. But you will see all the samples there. I don't have them because I gave them away, but you will be able to see them in that post. So we're going to start with this piece of designer series paper. I have already put adhesive on the back. You have one of my plasticized sheets there. And I have, can you see, adhesive on only 3 sides. So this side, and then there. This side has nothing on it, okay? So where you put the adhesive is going to be determined by how you want your piece oriented, right? So I want my little pattern to be like this, okay? So I'm just turning it over to show you. So I've got adhesive on this side, and this side. These are going to be the ends. So the ends right there, because they're going to stick together. This has adhesive, and this has adhesive, and this side doesn't, okay? So that's how we're going to start. So I'm going to start by rolling it in a little ball or a cylinder. And I've just got the adhesive on one side, so I'm going to just attach it ever so carefully so it becomes a little cylinder, almost like a toilet paper roll. Okay. Now, I've got a couple things I'm going to put inside here, and I need to put them inside before I do anything else. So I've got a little tea bag, perfect right for the theme of this paper. Of course, this isn't necessarily tea themed, but a lot of the other papers are. And I'm just going to make sure my fold is kind of, or my paper where the seam is kind of in the middle on the back. So I'm kind of folding it this way so that I can tell. Fold my little tea bag, stick it in there. And then, of course, chocolate, Dove, my favorite. I love Dove. Who else loves chocolate, and specifically Dove chocolate? Anybody? I love my chocolate. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have to kind of hold that chocolate in there. So I'm holding it in so it doesn't fall out the end. And then I'm going to carefully press the end together. I want to make sure that I'm not getting this sort of askew, because you can actually make it askew if you, especially on the second side, okay? So you can see how this kind of lies kind of cattywampus there. It's a little bit askew. This one was less perfect. Oh, Dove dark chocolate, who said that? Oh, and Elizabeth, you're dark chocolate too? You know, dark chocolate is healthy. It's actually healthier than milk chocolate, although I love milk chocolate too. Yes, chocolate and tea. Yes. All right, so now I got the one side done. Now I don't have to worry about this falling out, so that's nice. And this is where you want to just make sure that you don't end up getting it sort of cattywampus, and you want the ends to line up. So just so, I'm not sure that I got that quite right. Might be a cattywampus one again. It's just, okay, try that again. I think that's about right. Okay, there we go. So I'm just pinching it. I'm going to pinch it a little bit at the end. And if you do it like that, you still end up with this nice rounded edge here, right? If you press too much, then you're going to get a pressed line on there. And it's kind of nice to have it be a pouch, rounded, right? Okay, so I got my two ends. Isn't that cute so far? Okay, now let's do some finishing touches on this. We're going to pull in my scoring tool and do a little sort of decorative edge. You can see this is super quick and easy to do. And I'm going to use this edge here because it's a little bit easier than trying to get into the corner. And then I can gauge where I'm going to put this. So obviously the adhesive's holding it down, but what I'm trying to do here is just create a little bit of you see I'm kind of getting my score line happening there because it's thick. And then just doing one, and then I'm going to do a second one, just 1/8 inches apart. 1/8 inch apart, so I'm doing 3 little lines. You can see how that gives it a nice little decorative finish. Now, those of you who are demonstrators out there might recognize this project because somebody, I can't remember who it was, showed us this little pouch idea. I don't know if it was this paper or some other paper at, what was it, On Tour? I think it was On Tour, a Stampin' Up event for demonstrators. And it was just so cute. I took a screenshot quickly while they were showing it, and then I had to fuss around and figure out exactly what they did and how to make it work. And just, is that the cutest or what? It's so trim and slim. You could do this easily with a larger piece of paper if you want, but if you're using the 6x6, obviously you get this nice little size pouch. It just has a tiny little goodie on the inside. You could do a different kind of goodie. You know what would be really fun is actually like a strip of some embellishment, you know, Stampin' Up embellishment inside. Wouldn't quite fit ribbon unless you take it off the spool because it's kind of narrow. But anyway, so now we're going to do a little decorative sentiment piece, and this is where the some of the dies come in. So we're using, well, this is the Slim Saying set of dies. There's 2 dies in there. I'm not going to take them out. I'll show you a project that I made with them. But I'm using this Enjoy. It's perfect, right? This bundle is actually retiring as of the end of June. Now's the time to get it if you really like it. And then for this one, I have used the Scallop Contour dies. You guys probably have seen that. I have to go run and get it. I meant to grab it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm across the room in my bucket of things. I also used these Scallop Contour dies on one of the Creative Play with Adhesives technique class. Isn't that a great set of dies? It took me forever to buy this set of dies. I don't know why, but they're really cool, really fun dies. So I used one of them to cut out this piece right here, which has a little, you know, sort of decorative element. It's like detached little edges. It's very sweet. Sweet little shape there. All right, so now I need my stamp. I think I put it back in my set. I'm just going to show you how I did these because I did them actually with 2 inks. So I don't know about you guys, but I keep everything that I use quite frequently within arm's length. So I've got drawers right below this table. They're really thin, narrow drawers from IKEA. And all of my acrylic blocks are in there. So you heard me open the drawer and pull it out. It's right there. I got my adhesive like a little bit right over there, and actually a drawer full of adhesives down below on the top drawer, in fact. Anyway, a little bit of organizing stuff for you. Okay, so for this I'm going to use Orchid Oasis and Starry Sky, and we're going to start with stamping the Orchid Oasis. This is the lighter of the 2 colors. And then I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper so I can keep my work surface clean. I'm going to open up my Starry Sky, and I'm going to stamp off just the tiniest little bit of the bottom, okay? And then I'm going to, on the edge, now this is my Starry Sky, the darker one, I haven't stamped yet, and I'm just going to, along the kind of edge, I'm going to get the bottom portion darker. And you can probably see, I don't know if you can see that it's darker. You see that line in there? So now I've got a little bit of a darker line. So I'm going to actually go in and kind of add a second line in there. I kind of want a little bit of texture in there. It turns out a little bit different every single time. So let's go ahead and stamp this on here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When you check out my blog post, if you do, like I said, I think I have 9 different versions. This will be a 10th. And I used lots of different colors for my tag. So this one is you can see where there's sort of that line. So the bottom is darker, the top is lighter. Just gives a little bit of variation and kind of fun. All right, I have one that's done already because I've got dimensionals. So I am going to go ahead and just add this to my piece. Now, are all the way out towards the edge here and here. And the reason I did that was because this little element here is kind of delicate. So I wanted to pin the two pieces together so that it wouldn't, I don't know, sort of pull away and rip or something like that. So this is just going to go right there in the middle. So simple, right? And then I've got a couple pieces of ribbon, piece of the white crinkled seam binding, and this is the Orchid Oasis ribbon. The Orchid Oasis is actually more purple, and the Starry Sky is actually more blue. I kind of would have thought the opposite, but I got to show this. If you look at the two ribbons side by side, the purpley one, let's see, it's very dark. The purpley one on the left is Orchid Oasis, and the one on the right is Starry Sky. So they are really different, and it is actually quite blue, the Starry Sky. All right, so we're just going to put the glittery ribbon on the top, and I'm going to do my bow tying magic. Get in there. If your ribbon's a little bit longer, it makes it a little bit easier. I cut this just to size. Okay, so now I need some help. I need an extra set of fingers. So I'm going to grab something. My favorite bow tying assistant are a couple of pencils. So here we go. Now I've got like extra hands, right? Extra fingers. I can adjust my size. Is that a crimping tool or scoring and sealed? Do you mean what I did on here, Sharon? It was just the scoring tool that made those lines. You could actually do that on your trimmer, you know, as opposed to the scoring, simply scored, which is what I use, but either works fine. Okay, so I want my bow a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna kind of pull it out a little bit. Makes it so much easier to use the pencils. Helps me to make my ears more regular shaped. And then I'll just trim off the ends. Okay. All I need is a glue dot and a little embellishment, and we are good to go with this. So, glue dots are the best for ribbon, in my opinion. And just gonna pull that off with my paper piercing tool, tuck it up there in the upper left-hand corner. And then these are so fun. I put these on all of the little pouches where the dot on the eye is, just to give it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of pop of fun, shall we say. What color do we want? Let's see how this one looks. You kind of need to use the big ones. That's sort of subtle in there. Maybe a little too subtle. Try the blue. That kind of blends in too. You love the pencil idea, Melissa? Yes. It is a very handy trick. I'm trying all the colors. I need some contrast. I'm going to go with the green. There we go. That's actually what I did on this one too. The green. Pretty, right? It pretty much just covers up the little dot there. So there you go. There's my cute little project. So I hope you will give that a try with some of your designer paper. And keep in mind, like if you're using Halloween designer paper, Christmas paper, it could be a little Halloween treat. It could be a little Christmas stocking stuffer, a gift you make for your neighbors during the holidays. So many possibilities, and it's so easy. I know it seemed like it took me a long time to do it, but it was just so easy. And I made at least 10 of them to give away for this extra little gift that I had made for people who did the annual catalog special offer. Okay, so next project. Before I jump forward, I just want to show you a couple of these slim sayings cards. So this set of dies that I made. Since it's going away, got to say goodbye to stuff. So there's one. This was another one I made on a Facebook Live. So these two are actually the only ones I made with the slim sayings. It went away really fast. And then I made a couple of other slimline cards that have nothing to do with the slim sayings, but I just pulled them out because it's fun. Another great use for designer paper and the postage stamp punch, those two right there. And also great masculine cards. All right, on to the next project. This one is a quick one too. Now I haven't even finished one of these, so I can't show you the finished product. But I did, I have the vision for it, and we'll be asking for your opinion on as I create this one. So I've used several of these designer papers, and I die cut circles. Now this basic design was one of my fellow design team members' contribution to the tutorial bundle, but she didn't use this designer paper, and I really wanted to use this designer paper. So it's the basic layout, same idea, but different designer paper and different colors because of the paper that I used. So these are the actual circles that I chose to use. This small one here, that one from that. This pink one is the back side of that. There's that one, which I love. And then where's my little itty bitty one? Where did it go? Did I drop it on the floor? Maybe it's attached to something. You know how that happens. Oh, goodness. Well, it came right out of there, and it was that pattern. Let's see if it's somewhere on my table. Okay, it's going to turn up. Oh, there it is, in between my little sentiment pieces. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. So the dies that I used for punching out all those circles were these lovely stylish shapes dies. Love these. These are new to the annual catalog. Obviously great, simple, neutral shapes. And I'm also using on this card a celebration item. This is a really fun celebration item, amazing phrases. So you can get this for free with a $50 order starting on July 1 when you order. Or you can choose this if you get product shares, you know, if you qualify for the early bird special, which of course ends tomorrow. So what I've got for this is a card base, measures 4 1/4 by 11, folded in half, and a piece of Parakeet Party cardstock. That's just going to go right here on the front. Now, because I'm sort of cheating here, I figured out my layout ahead of time, so it would take a little less time. So I've got some marks on here to show me where I want each of my pieces to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting adhesive on each of my circles and placing them down. I'll get my positioning first, and then I'll go ahead and tack them down. Actually, I think that was on top, yes. And I've got my red. I didn't want too much of the bright red just because it's really strong. I didn't want it to be too strong. So as I was doing this, I played around with the positioning quite a bit, which pattern I'd have where. I wanted the elements with red kind of a little further apart. This subtle one with the petal pink right here, you know, covered up partially. it kind of ties this pattern together with this one because it both has the petal pink, and I got my greens kind of in the opposite spot. And I wanted to use the Parakeet Party because it's just such a bright, cheerful color. So the other conversation that started happening this past week in Maker's Mojo was I asked people in the group what their approach to design was, whether they design from nature or a sketch challenge, or I think I gave several options. One of them was, you know, copy and something and tweak it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm copying and tweaking this design, and I'm totally making this my own because it's, yes, it's the same layout, but it's completely different designer paper. And I really like to talk about design and how I came up with design, because people a lot of time are so intimidated just by that word design, right? I think somebody in the on the comments said that they don't design, that they don't know how to design, when I think actually they probably do, they just aren't giving themselves credit for it. So, because I see myself as designing here, even though I took exactly the layout, I'm using designer paper just like the other person did, my colors are different, this is still design. So when you're casing somebody else, if you make it your own, you're designing. That's my philosophy anyway. So let's just keep going on this. So I'm going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to start attaching pieces. So if you have any thoughts on design, are you intimidated by that word? Let's start with that question. Do you consider when you case actual designing? You know, just little questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and just start erasing a little bit so I don't have my pencil marks showing as I put each of my pieces down. Now I am going to put a sentiment in here somewhere, and it's going to be kind of somewhere in there. So I want to make sure that I'm not... I want to show as much of this gorgeous paper as possible. So I'm going to make sure my sentiment is covering as little of the beautiful part as possible. Okay. Now my littlest circle. Guess I need to erase my spots again. Tuck that in there. So Nell, I think you're not alone. The designing is intimidating to a lot of people, I think. When I first started, I totally felt that way. I've been a demonstrator for 19 years, so don't quite feel that same way now. And I feel like I've come a long way, but it took a long time. It's just a process. But I was also a person who, I did not think of myself as creative when I first started as a demonstrator, like so many that I know, both in the demonstrator world and customers. It was my biggest fear when the first party I went to. Am I going to have to be creative? Okay. Let's see what we got there. Make sure I know. It's going to go. No, that's like that. I'm forgetting where I'm putting stuff because I've erased it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be exactly where I had it before. Except for it does need to be, I want those little patterns to be kind of upright. Tuck that in there. So are you envisioning this design with any of the papers, the many papers you guys have in your collection? I hope so. I'm just going to start covering up the pencil marks so I don't have to worry about it. That was supposed to be under. see if I can get it under before it's tacked down. There we go. I love my tools. All right. That little bit of red peeking out. I had some adhesive on there holding it together. Let's see. So now I need my adhesive eraser. Get that excess adhesive off. Okay, I missed Tracy's comment. I'll have to see it later. Wait a minute, maybe I can scroll down. Oh, yes. Okay, so Tracy says, people just need to remember there's no right or wrong. That is so true. There's no right or wrong way to design. Yes, it's very much taste. No one knows what the idea is in your head looks like. Yes, right. I agree. Okay. Let's go ahead and attach this piece to my card body. And then we're going to decide on a sentiment. So I stamped my sentiment in a couple of different colors just to play around. We'll see what you guys think, what you like best. And I also used some of the dies in the stylish shapes for my sentiment as well. Oh, I just realized I wasn't supposed to attach it yet. I had a plan. And it's white glue, so let's see if it actually comes up. I'm making a mess because I have to decide on my sentiment first. Now I'm pouting. Okay, that looks like a mess. Okay, we're gonna grab a silicone craft sheet to put it down so that I can actually put it down and it won't stick. I forgot one step. Okay, so sentiments. So it's going to be on white, but I made a couple of different choices here. The hey, I miss you. Aren't those cute? I think they're so cute. This is obviously the die right here, this outside die. And a million different things that you could say with this set, but I chose to do, hey, I miss you. So we'll do it heat embossed in white on the parakeet party or in red. And actually this is the sweet sorbet, which is the red that's in this paper. So I'm planning on trimming them off, which is why I didn't want it attached to the card body. So I'm chattering away here, but I'd love to know whether you like the red. Imagine it without the tails on the right and left, or the parakeet party. Anybody commenting? It's hard to tell, right? Because it's not on the white layer. Pretend the white's right there. I don't know. Give people a chance. Red on white pops more. Okay. You like the sweet sorbet? Pam too? Yes. Ah, it's resounding. 3 people. Nell says red. Mary says red. Or sweet sorbet. Yes, sweet sorbet, red. Jennifer, sweet sorbet. Oh, we got 1 green vote with the white pops. Yes. Okay. You know, you could go either way. This is another thing, right? Where we said there's no right or wrong. It's really just a matter of taste. So this kind of blends in a bit and the white shows up. So let's go ahead and do the red. And I am going to use glue dots on the back. I'm sorry, dimensionals on the back of my sentiments. Now, guess where this is going? A baggie of card salad. Because that's what I do. I have to keep my pieces. They make for really fun little 3x3 cards later when I'm creating and I need something super quick. So let's see if I'm going to have room for, yeah, well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach these where they go, and then I'm going to trim off the ends. And then we'll get it back on this white card base. Okay, there's one. This is a design as we go. Oop, gotta make sure. There we go. Okay, let's get my little paper snips here. And I'm gonna just trim off the end. Now normally I'd put it on a cutter, but this is all goopy and gluey, so that's not gonna work very well. Paper snips works just fine. I like to hold the scissors against the cardstock, and it helps to make sure that I get a straight line. So there we go. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's get it back down onto the card base. Don't need too much glue on here because there is still sticky on here. Okay. Let's take that away in case there's any glue on there. And now just to get it square. The one thing I like about the white is that it sort of looks continuous against the, next to the card base. Sort of ties it out to the edge a little bit. Okay, make sure there's no glue on there. That's gonna get on my front. And there we go. Cute, right? I think it turned out so cute. I love the paper this way. And, you know, I played around with my papers and my placement and which ones I was going to use for a bit. But it was pretty darn easy putting this together. So I hope you'll give it a try with your whatever designer paper you have on hand. And I know most of you probably have a lot. So let's put these 3 of them in here. Remember, there's going to be several other examples of these on my blog if you want to see other designer papers. All the Tea Boutique is what all the samples that are on my blog. But I did the sentiments and let's see, Granny Apple Green and Parakeet Party, and then I did another one in Sweet Sorbet and was it Real Red, I think? I can't remember. Maybe Poppy Parade. And then there was a 4th combination. Can't remember what it was. I have to go look at the blog post to see. Alrighty. I am going to now show you guys some fun projects that are sneak peeks. Make room. Make sure this is all clean. Turn it over. All right. Alrighty, so I'm going to bring that back in because I'm going to narrate through this. So the Creative Play with Adhesives class, again, is going to be on Monday, June 27th. You need to RSVP by Saturday. So I have 4 projects designed for that. People who got kits in the mail got, well, materials to make 6 projects. 1 each of 2 of them and 2 each of the other 2. And my intention is to show variations on the other 2. Same layout, but different, but variations. So anyway, this is number 1. This is the Creative Play with Adhesives class. I'm just going to go through it pretty quick. Number 2. This one I didn't even have sneak peeks because I designed it. New stamp set in the July mini. This is number 3. A little bit crazy. Crazy fun. And then number 4, I think this is probably my favorite one. I love those leaves. Those are also new to the mini catalog. So that's the Creative Play with Adhesives technique class. It's going to be very fun if you like out-of-the-box ideas. Okay, next up is the Sun Prints class. So 3 of these I actually did with my club, my stamp club, and then the other 3 are brand new that nobody has seen. So let's start with this one. This is a recessed card. Now, if you get a kit, I will give you I will provide a die cut piece. So you don't have to fussy cut if you don't want to, but of course it uses that beautiful designer paper and the fern embossing folder. And then, and the dry embossing will be done for you. And this one is also Nature's Prints. Can be done as a shaker card. I will give instructions about how to do that. And I will die cut this piece for you as well in the kit. This is project number 3. This was club. All those pieces will get die cut for you, except for the wreath, which you will need to have. Then you'll have to have the Nature's Prints bundle, and that die is included in the bundle. So that, but this die piece will be die cut. Actually, you'll be die cutting this too, because you'll have that bundle. So yes, lots of little itty bitty die cut pieces. Like I said, my helper spent 4 hours die cutting the other day for me. Okay, this is project number 4. Simple, using the designer series paper, die cuts. I just love those blues. And then that one right there. Also uses the designer series paper. And then last but not least, that one for the Sun Prints class. So this again is not technically a technique class. It is the Sun Prints product-based class. You can buy the PDF, but you will need half as many supplies if you buy the class kit, because you'll be getting some supplies in the kit, and then of course I'll be die cutting and dry embossing for you. I highly recommend the kit. I have the tendency to use a lot of supplies in the classes that I do. So if you get the kit, it helps a lot. Okay, so last up, and I don't actually have this on here, but the August technique class is my tarnished foil, impressions of tarnished foil class. So I'm going to show you, I have a couple different variations. So let's see. These are variations on the same layout. Uses the honeycomb embossing folder. This one uses the splatter embossing folder. Fun. Hope you guys like these. And then last but not least, this one, which is the first one I designed, and I absolutely love it. And again, of course, I would be die cutting that piece for you and die cutting that background piece, all that sort of thing. So you would need to have the embossing folders and other supplies. So there you go. There's my sneak peeks. I hope you enjoyed the sneak peeks. Comment and let me know what you think. I hope you love them. Fun to share. Things that otherwise I would not be sharing. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera around. Say a little bit of a quick goodbye. Whoop. Where are my notes? Buried over here. Oh my goodness. Probably look kind of disheveled. Doesn't matter what I look like when I'm not on camera, right? All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the projects that I shared today, that you're inspired to create some of your own and use some of your beautiful designer series paper. Anyway, and I hope you're inspired to sign up for one or all of my classes. I'm trying to get better at sending reminder emails. So I did a whole bunch of emails today. Now, they're not going to go to everybody on my email list. I have little ways of segmenting the list so that if you've ever expressed interest in product-based classes, you're going to get an email reminders about the Sun Prints class. If you've expressed interest in technique classes, you're going to get a reminder of that. The next couple days, if you've expressed interest in a lot of the things I do, you're going to get a lot of emails from me. Just saying. I find that people really need those reminders, and I get sort of shy about sharing too much. I'm afraid I'm going to overwhelm people, but I've just decided I really need to just do the reminding. So hopefully you will not mind the reminder emails that I'm going to be sending. Hopefully they will be useful, and some of you will sign up for some of my wonderful classes. All right. I guess the last reminder. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? My little stand just fell. Okay, that is really weird. That never happens. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it up I'm gonna have to be right here. Can you tell I'm holding it up? All right, anyway, so a few quick reminders. So product shares closes soon. The early bird special extension ends tomorrow. So make sure to order your product shares if you're interested so you can get those celebration items or get entered into a drawing for celebration items. Let's see what else. I don't know. I think I've pretty much talked enough. You can, I will have a summary of all these details, links to the sign up for the classes and that kind of thing in the video description. And it was, of course, in my newsletter yesterday and will be in the reminder emails that come over the next several days since I have deadlines coming over the next several days. Okay, now I do have to tell you guys, this is probably one of the most important things. So again, I'm going live in the Makers Mojo Creative Escapes page tomorrow with more projects, more fun, more sneak peeks. That's at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I sent, there's an email you're gonna probably get tomorrow morning with a link to that group. So it's called Makers Mojo Creative Escapes. Okay, that's the name of the page. If you can't find it, let me know. I'm happy to provide you with the link if you can't find it. All right, so let's see, or if you're not on my newsletter list. And what else? So after tomorrow's Facebook Live, I am taking a break. I'm actually going to a wedding in California, and I've decided to take some extra time. So I'm going to be spending about a week doing the wedding festivities, and then I'm going to be staying an extra week at my sister's. She lives in San Francisco, in a beautiful part of San Francisco. I may go live just to show you the beautiful place where I'm going to be staying because, I mean, my sister's an architect, so she has an absolutely beautiful home. So, so I will not be going live again after tomorrow until Thursday, July 14th. So I'm taking the next 2 weeks, the next 2 Thursdays off of doing Facebook Lives, at least with a crafting project, because I'm not going to be in my crafting space. So, but hopefully, you know, I'll be trying to post on Facebook and I will still be working. Please do reach out to me if you want, because I'll still be available to some extent anyway. But really excited to be going to California. We lived there for 20 years. That's where I met my husband, had my kids. I have good friends there. My sister's there. So I'm very excited to be able to be there for the wedding and to see people. So anyway, I hope you will join in tomorrow for another Facebook Live on the Makers Mojo Creative Escapes page. Let me know if you have questions, and thank you all so much for being here and joining me. Yes, I will miss you too, MJ. I actually felt like so long since I had been live because it's been 2 weeks since I was live last time. So I know this has probably been a long, a long Facebook Live tonight. I haven't even looked at the clock, but it's been fun for me. So I hope it's been fun for you too. Thank you so much for your well wishes on the trip, Tracy. Yes, wear a mask. Definitely on the plane, for sure. When I was just at my mom's, of course, I was wearing a mask. I was protecting my mom, of course, and myself as well. So anyway, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow, and after that in a couple of weeks from then. So have a wonderful evening, and happy summer. I hope you're enjoying your summer so far. Until next time, happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.